Welcome to another episode of the Insightful Living Channel, where myself, Stephen Harvey, licensed therapist, just comes on here to share and expound on different challenges that come across my desk, all right, amongst my clients, all right, challenges that are in your personal life, your professional life, your romantic life, okay, just across the board, just overcoming and conquering life obstacles. As they say, there's nothing new under the sun, right? So we all go through some form of obstacle, some form of challenge, and it is important that we have the tools, the mental tools, the emotional tools to adequately address these obstacles. Because if we don't, then the obstacle or challenge will become bigger and more problematic than what it needs to be. So I just created this channel just to share and some tools, right, that are proven, tried, and tested to work. All right. Today, we're going to deal with how to kill debilitating, sabotaging thoughts. Okay. I have clients who share with me that they get this barrage of thoughts that are just negative, that are just discouraging, that are judgmental, like their own thoughts now. Okay, so check this out. Okay, I'm gonna just go here with it just to kind of make it more understandable. Okay, just gonna lead up to giving you this tool, because after this video, I want you to be equipped to cast out, reject, drive out any debilitating thought that rises up in your mind. I do not want you to just sit there and just feel disempowered, discouraged based on just a barrage of thoughts that are just coming in your mind that are just having you feel debilitated. Okay? So that's the goal here, that you are equipped to prevent that. So, Reverend Ike, the late, great Reverend Ike, has a great perspective on the Bible, okay? He says that the Bible, the characters in the Bible, are personifications of different aspects within our own consciousness. So in other words, when you have Peter, you have Judas, I think Thomas, even Jesus, right? Jesus is symbolic, representing the God divine consciousness in all of us. Okay? Jesus is a personification of the divinity, of the divine higher self that we all have. Let's say Judas is a personification of, say, maybe that jealousy, envy energy that we all have. Some of us suppress it and keep it dormant. Others of us allow that energy to rise up and kind of lead our lives in certain respects. Okay? So all of those personalities in the Bible are personifications of different energies, aspects, or components that we all have in our consciousness, in our psyche. I want to just kind of share that first, because I like that, just to give you an understanding. So now, when we have these debilitating thoughts coming to us, that is symbolic of that. All of us have this self-doubting, judgmental, disempowering, almost insulting type of energy within us. We all have it, right? Maybe that's what is the personification of what's referred to as the devil, okay? That energy, that self-sabotaging energy, that disempowering energy, voice that we have inside of us. So when that aspect arises, you got to, meet the intensity of these thoughts. I ask some of my clients, I say, well, what do you do? What is your response when these thoughts come? These thoughts taking you back to your past. These thoughts that are telling you how bad you're probably going to do. These thoughts telling you that you're going to mess up, you're not good enough. These thoughts that are painting negative pictures of your future rather than positive pictures of your future. I ask my clients, I say, what do you do when these thoughts come, having you feel so disempowered? And I have some clients say, oh, well, I may quote a scripture, or I have clients say, oh, I just go to sleep on it. Oh, they say, oh, well, I just let it ride out. I just let it pass. I say, this is going to pass. To be honest, they have a lot of very soft and just tentative approaches, okay? And you got to meet the intensity of these thoughts. So what I'm getting to is this: you got to be aggressive in your response to these thoughts. Like, treat it like it's a person, because it almost is like you can personify it in your mind. Like, what if a random person walked up to you out of nowhere, just telling you how bad your life is, and you're not going to do good, and this relationship is going to mess up, and hey, this is what happened to you and your child. Remember this? Yeah, remember that. You remember this? What would you do? Would you just sit there and start praying? Would you say, would you just go to sleep? Would you say, would you just sit there and listen and say, oh, well, I'm just going to sit here and let the person finish all the way until they're done. And when they're done, then I guess that's when it's going to be over. What would you do? Okay. So I'm not even going to sit here and verbalize to you all how I deal with these types of thoughts when they come to me. But what I will say is I get very flagrant, very dirty, and I just get down and dirty to where I really, let's just say this. I talk and speak to these thoughts in the same manner that I would speak to, say, someone, a stranger who may approach me, who's maybe coming after, my children, or coming to do me harm. You're not going to meet that type of energy with any soft, passive response. Whatever aggression is in you is going to be turned all the way up, right? To protect your safety, protect your children, what have you, right? So that's the same aggression that you need to have whenever this self-doubting, self-debilitating energy rises up in your mind. So whenever you hear these thoughts, something like, shut up, okay? And use some, even if you got to use some colorful language, all right? You tell these thoughts, you shut them down, tell them where to go, and declare what it is for your life in a very strong, emphatic way. Not, this too shall pass, or, because these thoughts and feelings, they come with much intensity. You have to meet and, matter of fact, supersede that intensity to drive it out. Get it? That's how you see. You want it to where these thoughts are trembling. They say, I don't even want to come back to this person because they get so aggressive with me. I don't even want to show myself. I'm going to sit right here in my little area in this person, and I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to sit in my seat and keep my little mouth shut, because once I start opening my mouth coming to this person, I get treated in an unpleasant way. I'm not welcomed. And it don't feel good. Matter of fact, they scare me. Get it? Does that make sense? Okay? Whenever I get certain self-doubting and just these negative thoughts, maybe trying to take me back to times in my past where I didn't feel the best, maybe an embarrassing moment, maybe a hurtful moment, I call it names sometimes. I may use colorful language, and I'm really, like I said, I'm getting down, dirty, and flagrant to let that aspect of my own consciousness know that it gets no love. It gets no type of attention or acceptance at all. So just keep your mouth shut. And don't even let me hear you or see you, because if I do, I'm annihilating you. That is the type of energy that you need to meet these self-doubting, disempowering thoughts that rise up in your mind. You need to meet it with that type of energy. Hope that makes sense. All right. And as you do that continuously, I can guarantee you those thoughts will absolutely, the frequency of those types of thoughts will absolutely decrease. They're going to still come every now and then, but you got to smash it out very, very emphatically and authoritatively. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Again, drop some comments in the comment section if you have any further questions. I'm actually available for, one-on-one therapy sessions. I typically work virtually. Okay, again, you can look me up on psychologytoday.com, helptoadjust.com, which is the agency that I am currently the clinical director of, and I'm also a therapist there. Okay, thank you for tapping into another episode of the Insightful Living channel, where we dealt with today how to kill, crush, annihilate debilitating thoughts. Take care. I love you. Peace.